Hari Om and welcome. Thank you for being here. This is Yamuna Devi. I'm so happy to be here with you today because I have a very special topic today. Today, I wanted to talk about the practice, the art of communication, because communication is something that is very important. We communicate day to day. We have interactions day to day with everyone in our life: work, family, friends, relationships with society, so many people. So it is important to understand communication. This is something that is not taught in our schools. It is not taught sometimes even in our relationship, in our households. So it is very important to understand the art of communication. And I like to add in compassionate communication, because compassionate communication goes even further with communication. So when we talk about the art of compassionate communication, it is important to understand when there is someone talking, to listen, and when there is someone listening, to talk after that person is actively listening. This goes both ways. In communication, there is a transmitter, there is a receiver. It is very important to be able to have these two. But two people talking cannot receive, two people listening cannot receive. So we need to have nice communication, understanding, compassion, and compassionate listening as well. So compassionate speaking, compassionate listening leads to compassionate communication. So when one person is talking, listen with love, listen with awareness, listen with kindness, and this will help to reach a certain understanding in our life. And this is very important. We need to have this in our life. So when we listen with compassion, we are actively present at the moment. We are listening. We are actually listening with awareness. What the other person is feeling, what they are trying to communicate, what are their needs. Because many times we are not being heard. We feel like we are not being heard. We feel like we are not being understood, because the other person that is receiving is distracted. So person feels kind of this neglect, misunderstood, and feels disconnected in the conversation. So when we are present, when we are listening, when we are actively conscious in that situation, we can even help the person. But sometimes, oftentimes, the person feels neglected, the person feels misunderstood. So let us use this compassionate communication, active listening, to help the other person and to understand. And this active listening, listening others with compassion, we can help heal them. And healing them, we also heal ourselves, because lending an ear to be present in a conversation, we can help others. And when you help others, you also heal yourself. And there is always something to learn. So oftentimes, it's very important that we also, when we talk, we use compassion. Compassion. And the same way goes listening, speaking with compassion, speaking with love is very important, because we are able to communicate our needs. We're able to communicate love, that understanding, that compassion to others as well. So it works both ways. It's very important. And when we have this communication, compassionate communication, there is a lot of healing that happens in there, within there. So I invite you to listen to take the time to ask how you're feeling to the other person, to just give yourself that space to be present with the other person while you're there having a conversation and while you are in the space of communication. Because nowadays we are so distracted, we are so disconnected that people feel like no one is hearing them, like they are not being heard. So let us help serve in their healing as well. Let us listen. Let us listen. Sometimes people are crying in their speech for love. Sometimes people are crying for communication, for understanding. People are crying in their speech. People who repeat the same things. No one understands me, no one listening to me, no one understands how I'm feeling. This is their plea to have someone listen to them with compassion, with presence, because we are not in the present moment. The person cries in their speech. If you are aware, you can hear this. But if you are distracted, you will never understand, and you will not understand what they are telling you. So it is nothing that they have against you. It is within themselves that they feel they are not being heard. And sometimes it is that suffering that they have within, that even sometimes they don't understand that they have that suffering, that pain within, that they are reflecting that in their speech. So let us give some time, let us pause, let us listen without judgment. When I say listen with compassion, you are seeing God in that being. You are seeing the divinity in that being. And that beautiful being that is in front of you is reflecting their essence to you, and is reflecting that beauty within as well. So let us pray. Let us pause. Let us use the love within to be compassionate with others, to give them a little space to understand them as well. And you will understand that they are suffering. And listening to them can help their healing, which is the beauty of exchanging the energy. And your understanding, your compassion can help elevate them to grow out of that space. I am not saying for you to enter into their space or enter into their plea of suffering or their crying of suffering. I am asking you to help elevate the person by entering into that divine space of compassion, which is a high energy space. Suffering space, sadness, depression, anger, frustration, these are lower emotions. Let us maintain that compassion. Let us maintain that love. Let us vibrate higher so that we can help elevate them, not bring us down with their energy. So, my dear friend, be open to learning, be open to growing, be open to allowing that space to flow with love, with compassion, with understanding, and you will learn a lot yourself as well. So thank you for being here. A lot of love and good wishes. Remember, compassionate communication. Hari Om. Thank you.